Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm super excited to jump right in and get going and talk about some lights on after school and what all we have planned for it this year and what that kind of might look like if y'all wanted to turn around and do a lights on after school event to help celebrate lights on and after school programming in the state of Idaho. Uh, See, right off the bat, a little bit about me, since y'all might not recognize me yet. My name is Henry Stoddard, and I'm the brand new Communications and Community Outreach Coordinator for the Idaho Out of School Network. I'm very excited to be a part of the team. I kind of jumped in about coming up on 2 months ago, and I'm very excited to be a part of the team. We just had our Power Up Summit, and so we kind of got that all wrapped up last week, and now we are looking forward to Lights On After School in the month of October. For anybody who might be experiencing, lag or delays, you can try closing out of programs on on your computer to try to kind of optimize how fast this plays. And as well as if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop those in the chat. And that would be the best way for me to get those answered for you. So just a little bit of background for anybody who may not be fully familiar. Lights On After School is actually the only national celebration of after school programs nationwide and how they help children, families, and communities. There we kind of have a photo from a Lights On After School event that we attended last year. That is my predecessor there, Wendy Williams, for anybody who recognizes her, making, it looks like a catapult as a part of a STEM activity. Lights On After School is kind of a big deal. We have 1 million Americans every year celebrate across 8,000 events nationwide. You might be asking yourself, why should I host a Lights On After School event? There are a million reasons. This is kind of an event that we're using to do a lot of killing two birds with one stone because there's a lot of utility in this event. It is really great to, call attention to your program successes. If you've got like a program that you really want to highlight, this is the perfect event to do that. You can show community leaders your kids in action. It can be kind of hard to get those community leaders engaged. And so kind of inviting them to like a fun event that, maybe you might have some press at is a good way to get those folks in the room. It also is a really great way to highlight the need for more resources because, these events are so fun and so engaging. It can kind of show, it's like, this is what we do with what little we've got. And it's great, but, maybe a little bit more funding would be great. Yep. Okay. So then, this is also a great way to start or solidify a relationship with elected officials. Over here at ION, we've had some overlap with the mayor's office, but we're really using this as a great opportunity to try to start that relationship with our Mayor Lauren McLean. And so we've actually extended an invite past having her proclaim the day of October 24th to be Lights On After School, and a little bit more on that later, but that's super exciting. You can engage private sector and local businesses. One way that we're doing that with our event, we're very excited. We're reaching out to Harkla, which is a local company that helps with like adaptive sports, and they sponsor adaptive sports programs and have a lot of really great sensory materials for neurodivergent folks, which is great. It's also, just a really great event to bring the kids out to because this is really centered on them. So it's a good opportunity, to get all of the kids together and celebrate their program. So this is what I was talking about earlier a little bit. This is the exciting part. So we did reach out to both the Governor Brad Little and Boise's Mayor Lori McLean, and they have both stated that they are going to issue proclamations saying that Boise and the state of Idaho are recognizing October 24th as Lights On After School Day. And we're very excited as well. On top of that, we're currently in talks with Mayor Lauren McLean's office, and she is going to be joining the ION Lights On After School event that we're putting on to read the proclamation and say a few words about after school. So to break it down for you, there's 3 easy steps that really go into planning an event for Lights On After School. Um, Try to break it down as easy as possible for you. So first off, once you have your date and your location, you just want to get onto the Lights On After School website and register your event. Got a QR code here on the screen just to make things super easy. And if you want to go ahead and scan that with your phone, if you have not registered your Lights On After School activity yet, go ahead and scan that. And if you don't have an account, you will need to create an account, which is okay. It's super simple. But once you log in, there should just be an icon right there saying create your event. So all you do is follow that, input any of the information that they are looking for there, and it will add your event to the registry. It also will enter you for 10 free posters, which is very cool to help get the word out. This year, what we're looking at here is the student submitted winner for the National Lights On After School graphics. Step 2, now this is the big one, plan your event. It's definitely a little bit more intensive than registering on the website, let's see, but we will show that, this event can be what you make it. It can be, like a big, large lift event that you really want to showcase, or it could be, co-sponsoring an event through Lights On After School that you have going on that week already. Again, we love our QR code. So we've got this QR code here if you want to scan it, just to give you a little bit of inspo for what kind of stuff you can do to have an event. It's really great. You can do an open house, just kind of open up a program site for folks to check out, have a rally, a talent showcase. That's what we're doing at ION. We're very excited about it. A carnival festival, that's a fun way to get your program together and have, games, booths, anything that kind of comes to mind there, or an art day. And the website on LOA has a lot of really great resources as well, kind of printouts that you can print that are coloring sheets. So you can set up a table so kids are doing that. But yeah, that is kind of the best spot to go if you're looking for event themes and ideas. On that site, also, you will see that there's an event planning guide. Event planning is not everybody's cup of tea, so we want to make sure that it is that everyone is well equipped enough to be able to take care of Lights On After School event. And if you go there, that's kind of where you will find really great materials for figuring out where to start, the who, the what, the where, the when, the why. Clearly we went over the why already. It's just celebrating after school programs. Now, when do you want to put on your program or your Lights On After School event? We find that the best time for maximum engagement is during regular after school hours. So that's, after school gets out to basically when parents get off of work. And if you do want to try to get the media out, it's not as much ideal for attendance, but potentially just due to work conflicts in school. But morning is going to be the best time to get the media out if you are trying to get some local news coverage. For instance, what we're doing at ION, our event is going to kind of cusp regular after school hours and evening. And we will talk a little bit more about exactly what ION has plans for, just to give you kind of an idea of what this looks like in the end. And again, yeah, the where is going to be any sort of school program site, indoors, public parks we love. We're kind of getting into the last days in Idaho where you can bet on doing an event outside. So it's great to take advantage of that. We've got other options listed there as well. And like I said, events can be anything from like a huge lift for you and your team to just, like a cool acknowledgement where you have like an open house and you all make light bulb art together. Because, we do use the light bulb as kind of the central unifying branding and theme for Lights On After School. So you could get folks together, create light bulb art, even coloring. We've got there kind of the coloring page on the sheet that we could have kids fill out. Or you can also do one of my favorites is the light bulb photo where you get all the kids together and they all put their arms up over their shoulders like that, creating a light bulb. And it's a cool kind of throwback to maybe like the Harlem Shake videos. Engaging policymakers, this is a really great opportunity. We can be so busy working in after school programming that a lot of times those big things that will help, like getting policymakers in, can just fall to the wayside. So, this is a great opportunity to pitch it to your policymakers in your area. They love, anytime they can get out in front of and see kids. That looks good for them, so there is incentive in it for them. But it's also a great opportunity, to get them up in front of your community and ask them to speak. Another way that you can engage them is, if there's an award that you have to give, that you want to honor a local policymaker, you can use your Lights On After School event as an avenue for giving that out. And then media coverage, as I said earlier, kind of if you're gonna try first and foremost, if getting media coverage is your number one item, you might want to consider hosting your event in the morning, just because, news crews wake up the very, very crack of dawn before I've even thought about my first cup of coffee. And then they will kind of plan out their day. So the earlier that you have your event typically can be the better, because they can send their team out, get them back into the editing bays and get it edited for the evening news. And this is also a really great time to kind of, in the same way of getting our policymakers out, kind of get after school into the larger conversation. We are currently in an election year, so kind of trying to get after school in the collective unconscious, so folks are thinking about it, is a really, really powerful tool and use for Lights On After School. And this is the final part of step 2, which is put on your event. So this kind of landing page I put together kind of breaks down exactly what we at ION are going to be doing. We're very excited. So we have arranged the TRICA after school program. They do have some dance programs there as well as preschool classes during the day. They are a preschool that is centered around the arts. And they're run by John Swarthout, who is a trained ballerina. He is so amazing in our community. So for anybody who doesn't know about TRICA, just a little bit of background. It used to, when I was growing up in Boise, it was on 14th and Eastman, and that was a corner of the neighborhood that you walked around. You didn't go there because it had this old church, and it was bombed out, and a lot of folks, would use it kind of as a squatting spot to stay. But throughout the 2000s, John Swarthout got a hold of the church, and it needed a lot of improvements. So he actually fully refurbished this old church into what you see here on the left. And it is a space for the arts. Like you see this photo here in the middle, that is actually while it was under construction. It is now fully finished on the inside and beautiful. But what we're going to be doing for our event is partnering with TRICA, and they're doing a dance recital that they have been working on. They do a shadow dance where they all stand behind a giant tarp, or screen rather, and have light projected behind them. And so it's really just the shadows that you're seeing. And so we're going to have that kind of as the grand finale of our event. In addition to that performance, we are inviting the the Girl Scouts of Silver Sage, as well as the Peregrine Fund, which are programs that we here at ION work with, as well as kind of going back to the step that we were talking about reaching out to the private sector. So we have Harkla there, which is a really great local company to Boise that does a lot of great work in the after school space. If you haven't checked them out before, I would sincerely urge you to check them out. They have so many great sensory items, and they also do a lot of great work sponsoring local sports in the area. And I did kind of say that our dance performance would be the big thing that we were leading up to, but the one thing that we're also very excited about is that we're in talks with getting the mayor of Boise, Lauren McLean, out, and she will read our proclamation declaring the 24th Lights On After School Day, as well as saying a few words on after school. We're also there are a few other programs that we're working with, specifically with the Parks and Recreation program, because as we know, a lot of our programs run through them. And so it's a great opportunity for us to kind of act as a connector within our community of getting those city programs in front of the mayor. Because, the mayor is very busy and is a lot on their plate. So trying to make these connections as easy as possible for folks is a very important piece. Now, step 3, we're all done. We're all cleaned up. Everything's finished. It's time to celebrate. And that celebrating, while for sure everyone should have a little bit of something on their team, just, a moment to acknowledge how awesome everything went. But of course, because we now live in 2024, and if it doesn't happen online, it apparently didn't happen in real life, it's important to share online. So while you're at your event, be sure to take pictures. The internet loves smiling kids, great action shots of if you're doing a performance. So be sure to be taking those photos. But also, we have another QR code here because, we love our QR codes. Go ahead and scan that. And it has a lot of resources that you can use, Instagram posts, Twitter posts, both leading up to and after Lights On to help you celebrate what a great event you put together. It's important to leverage social media. Like I said, if it doesn't happen online, didn't happen in real life anymore. And it's really great to put the spotlight there on, the activities that kids are seeing, because people, will think of after school in the abstract, but really seeing the kids that are affected and the staff members and families that really benefit from it really helps drive home the importance of it. Okay, I mentioned this one earlier. I let the cat out of the bag, but this is another really great way to help kind of with the unified branding of Lights On After School nationally. You're going to be seeing in the next couple of weeks lots of after school programs all posting these Lights On images, which is a really cool, powerful image. And so if you are taking photos at your event, we would strongly encourage you to try to get at least a couple of the light bulb challenge photos so you can post them. Now, this one's a bit out of my school. I am not a big dancer, but another cool one that we have seen take off is that creating like a Lights On dance for TikTok to help showcase your program. TikTok is a really great social media tool at this point for engagement. It kind of above Instagram, Facebook, and the others are really helping folks get to audiences that they traditionally have not been able to get to. So if you are so inclined to be able to dance, this would be a great option for you as well. You could include the Lights On iconography as part of the dance as well. I'm not going to get too into the weeds with it with you, but that is kind of what we were thinking there. And so that is, at this point, kind of all that you need to put together a Lights On After School event. Doesn't look like we have any questions. So I would love to make myself available. If anybody has any questions, concerns, like, oh shoot, I don't know how we want to go about accomplishing this, or hey, does this count as a lights on event? Direct those questions to me. My email is hstoddard, STODDARD @janus.org. So yeah, if you have any questions, concerns, just want to say hi, go ahead and send me a message, and I will get back to you so we can help you have as successful a Lights On event as possible. Thank you so much, everybody.